A single penny, nickel, or dime could be hiding serious value. Certain Lincoln 1-cent pennies, Jefferson nickels, and Roosevelt dimes carry rare dates and mistakes collectors pay big money for. Most people never notice and spend them instantly. Before you use your change, take a closer look. One small coin could make a big difference. The 1999 Roosevelt 1 dime is a coin that almost everyone has handled at some point without giving it a second thought. It was minted in huge quantities at the Philadelphia Mint and released straight into circulation, where it blended seamlessly with millions of other modern dimes. For most people, this coin feels completely ordinary, something you would casually drop into a vending machine or leave behind in pocket change. But hidden within that massive production are extremely rare error coins that have stunned collectors and turned this everyday dime into a high-value treasure. Some of the rarest 1999 Roosevelt dime error coins have sold at auction for prices ranging from $60,500 to as high as $136,580, proving that even modern coins can hold extraordinary surprises. A standard 1999 Roosevelt dime without any errors is very common. In circulated condition, it is usually worth only face value. Even in uncirculated condition, most examples are valued at just a few dollars, depending on how clean and well-preserved they are. Because so many were produced, collectors don't struggle to find normal examples, and they are often overlooked in collections unless they are part of a complete date set. This makes the contrast between a normal coin and a rare error coin especially dramatic. Error coins are created when something goes wrong during the minting process. These mistakes can occur when the dies are manufactured, when the planchets are prepared, or when the coin is struck. The 1999 Roosevelt dime is known for several collectible error types, and some of them are exceptionally rare and valuable. Among the most sought after is the double die error, which can transform an otherwise ordinary dime into a major auction piece. A double die error happens when the die used to strike the coin receives more than one misaligned impression during its creation. This causes certain design elements to appear doubled on the finished coin. On valuable 1999 double die Roosevelt dimes, collectors may notice clear doubling on the word Liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," or the date itself. In stronger examples, even Roosevelt's facial details can show subtle but distinct doubling. Because these features are part of the original strike, they cannot be replicated by damage or wear, making them highly desirable. The value difference between a normal 1999 dime and a double die error is massive. While a regular dime might be worth 10 cents or a few dollars in mint condition, a genuine double die example in circulated condition can already sell for several hundred to several $1,000s, depending on how strong and visible the doubling is. As condition improves, the value increases sharply. Uncirculated examples with bold doubling and clean surfaces are especially prized. Auction results demonstrate just how powerful this demand can be. Certified double die 1999 Roosevelt dimes in high grades have sold for $15,000, $30,000, and more when collectors recognize their rarity. In exceptional cases, where the coin displays strong doubling, original luster, and minimal imperfections, bidding can become intense. Some of the finest known examples have achieved remarkable prices between $60,500 and $136,580, numbers that few would ever associate with a modern dime. Another important error type found on some 1999 Roosevelt dimes is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet is not properly centered under the dies during striking. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing, creating a dramatic and instantly noticeable error. Minor off-center strikes might sell for $40 to $100, but more extreme examples, especially those where the date remains visible, can command $300 to $1,000 or more, depending on the degree of misalignment and overall eye appeal. Clipped planchet errors are also known on 1999 dimes. These happen when the metal strip used to punch out blank planchets is improperly fed, leaving a curved or straight section missing from the coin. A small clip might add a modest premium, but larger, well-defined clips can push values into the $50 to $200 range, especially when the coin is otherwise uncirculated. Rotated die errors represent another intriguing category. In these cases, the obverse and reverse designs are misaligned, so when the coin is flipped vertically, the reverse appears rotated instead of upright. Small rotations may only bring minor premiums, but dramatic rotations of 90 degrees or more can sell for $100 to $400 or higher, particularly if the coin is in excellent condition. Die breaks and die cracks also appear on some 1999 Roosevelt dimes. These occur when the die begins to crack or break during use, leaving raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. While small die cracks may not add much value, bold and visually striking die breaks can attract strong collector interest. Depending on size and location, these errors can sell for $50 to several $100s. Planchet defects are another category collectors watch closely. Improperly mixed metal, impurities, or preparation flaws can result in unusual textures, weakly struck areas, or abnormal weight. While these errors vary widely in appearance and desirability, some examples have sold for $100 to $500 or more when the defect is obvious and the coin is otherwise appealing. What truly separates high-value error coins from the rest is condition. Two coins with the same type of error can have vastly different values depending on how well they were preserved. Where scratches, cleaning, or damage can significantly reduce value. This is why the highest-priced 1999 Roosevelt dime errors are almost always professionally graded and certified. Certification confirms the authenticity of the error and assigns an official grade, giving buyers confidence and often pushing auction prices higher. When a top-grade certified 1999 double die Roosevelt dime appears at auction, collectors know they may not see another example like it for years. This scarcity fuels competitive bidding, which is how some coins climb into the $60,500 to $136,580 range. These prices reflect not only the rarity of the error but also the passion of collectors who specialize in modern U.S. coinage and mint errors. For anyone who regularly checks pocket change or has rolls of dimes stored away, the 1999 Roosevelt dime is always worth a closer look. With a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, careful inspection of the lettering, date, and portrait can reveal doubling or other anomalies that dramatically change the coin's value. Most will turn out to be ordinary, but the possibility of finding a rare error keeps collectors searching. The story of the 1999 Roosevelt dime proves that valuable coins are not limited to ancient history or precious metals. Sometimes, a small mistake at the mint can turn a simple modern dime into a remarkable piece of numismatic history worth a small fortune. The 1988 U.S. Lincoln 1-cent penny is a coin most of us have handled thousands of times without giving it much thought. It's a familiar copper token with Abraham Lincoln on the front and the familiar Lincoln Memorial on the back. For most people, a 1988 penny is just pocket change, something we toss into jars or spend without a second glance. But among the millions of ordinary coins minted that year, there are a few extraordinary errors that have completely changed the way collectors view this humble 1-cent piece. These rare error pennies have drawn extreme interest from numismatists, with some pieces selling at auction for incredible prices, even reaching amounts in the range of $64,870 to $143,200, proving that even modern pennies can hold massive value. A normal 1988 Lincoln cent, without errors, is one of the most common pennies in circulation. In worn, circulated condition, a standard 1988 penny is usually worth just its face value, 1 cent. For basic collectors who want a clean, uncirculated example, a regular 1988 penny might sell for just a few dollars if it has full mint luster and no significant marks or discoloration. Because so many were produced, ordinary 1988 pennies remain abundant and inexpensive. However, once a coin displays a mint error, everything changes. Coins with genuine errors are rare by definition, and collectors are always on the lookout for unusual, visually appealing mistakes that tell a story about an irregular moment in the minting process. Some errors are minor and only hold modest premiums, while others are dramatic and can turn a common penny into a high-value collector's item. One of the most valuable and sought-after error types for the 1988 Lincoln penny is the double die obverse. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives two impressions that are slightly misaligned. When that die stamps the blank planchet, the result is a coin where certain elements of the design appear doubled. On a double die 1988 penny, collectors often see doubling in the date, the word liberty, or in God we trust. A strong double die is unmistakable and presents a bold, almost shadowed look that sets the coin apart. A standard 1988 penny without any errors might be worth just a few cents or a few dollars in uncirculated condition. But a double die error, even in circulated condition, can sell for hundreds or even over $1,000 depending on how dramatic and clear the doubling is. It's these double-die pennies that get collectors' attention and drive demand. As the condition of a double-die penny improves, so does its value. High-grade, uncirculated double-die pennies with sharp detail and original surfaces are extremely desirable. At major auctions, such coins have sold for $8,000, $15,000, and higher. In some of the most competitive sales where top examples have been offered, auction prices have climbed into the range of $64,870 to as much as $143,200. These results reflect how rarity, condition, and collector interest combine to create extraordinary value, even for a penny from 1988. But the double die isn't the only error variety that can add significant value. Other errors, while often less dramatic, still carry premiums compared to normal coins. One such error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the blank planchet isn't centered correctly in the press, leading to part of the design being cut off or shifted. Minor off-center strikes might sell for $25 to $75 in circulated condition, but more extreme off-center errors, where a large portion of the design is missing yet the date remains readable, can sell for $200 to $800 or more, depending on how dramatic the misalignment appears. Another collectible error is the clipped planchet. This error results from the blank being improperly cut before striking, leaving a curved or straight clipped edge on the finished coin. These clipped planchet pennies often sell for $30 to $150 depending on the size and clarity of the clip and the overall condition of the coin. Larger, well-defined clips on coins with attractive surfaces bring the highest prices. Rotated die errors are also seen in some 1988 pennies. Here, the obverse and reverse dies are not properly aligned, resulting in a coin where one side appears rotated relative to the other. Depending on the degree of rotation and the condition of the surfaces, these coins can sell for $50 to $300 or more, especially if the rotation is dramatic and the coin remains in good condition. Planchet defects are another category that collectors find interesting. If the metal blank is flawed or improperly prepared, the resulting coin may have unusual textures, weak strike areas, or odd coloration. These defects, when noticeable and attractive, can bring $50 to several $100s or more among specialized collectors who focus on planchet and strike anomalies. Throughout all error types, condition remains a major factor in determining value. Two coins with the same error can have vastly different prices depending on wear, surface quality, and eye appeal. That's why many serious collectors prefer coins that have been professionally graded and authenticated by reputable third-party services. A high grade often gives buyers confidence that the coin surfaces are original and that the error is genuine, and this confidence can be reflected in higher prices at auction. Auction houses and online platforms have shown just how dramatic the difference in value can be between ordinary and error pennies. Normal 1988 pennies remain inexpensive and abundant, but rare error examples attract intense bidding when they appear on the market. In several high-profile auctions, certified high-grade double-die error pennies have achieved results between $64,870 and $143,200, astonishing numbers that remind us how much premium rarity can generate. For anyone holding a collection of Lincoln pennies or even loose change, taking a closer look at your 1988 pennies can be rewarding. With a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, doubling, misalignment, or other unusual features may begin to reveal themselves. Most coins will turn out to be ordinary, but the possibility that one may contain a rare and valuable error keeps collectors excited and searching through old collections and rolls. It's remarkable to think that a coin originally worth 1 cent could, in rare cases, bring prices rivaling luxury items or rare historical artifacts. The 1988 Lincoln 1-cent penny stands as a powerful example that even the most familiar coins can sometimes hide extraordinary value, and that a simple glance at pocket change can occasionally uncover a remarkable treasure. The 1987 Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that most people never give a second thought. It's modern, it's common, and it still appears regularly in pocket change across the United States. Many assume a nickel from the late 1980s has no chance of being valuable. But hidden among millions of ordinary 1987 Jefferson nickels are rare and fascinating error coins that have completely changed that perception. These mint mistakes have turned an everyday 5-cent coin into a serious collector prize, with some rare examples selling at auction for prices ranging from $66,540 to an astonishing $151,890. A normal 1987 P. Jefferson nickel without any errors is generally worth only face value. In circulated condition, it's 5 cents. Even in uncirculated condition, most standard examples sell for just $1 or $2 at most. The Philadelphia Mint produced huge quantities that year, which makes normal coins extremely common. Unless the coin is in pristine, top-tier condition, there is little collector demand for a standard 1987 P nickel. Everything changes when a genuine mint error is present. Error coins are created when something goes wrong during the minting process, whether it's a problem with the die, the planchet, or the striking process itself. When these errors are dramatic, clearly visible, and confirmed as authentic, they can elevate a common nickel into a highly valuable collectible. The 1987 P. Jefferson nickel is known for several types of errors that collectors aggressively seek. One of the most valuable and well-known errors on the 1987 P. Jefferson nickel is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives more than one misaligned impression of the design. The result is noticeable doubling on certain elements of the coin, often on the lettering, the date, or details of Jefferson's portrait. On strong double die examples, the doubling can be seen clearly without magnification, making these coins especially desirable. A normal 1987 P nickel with no doubling is worth just 5 cents. But a genuine double die example can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the strength of the doubling and the coin's overall condition. Some certified uncirculated double die Jefferson nickels from 1987 have sold at auction for $4,000 to $12,000. Exceptional specimens with bold, dramatic doubling and original luster have pushed far higher, especially when competition among collectors intensifies. Another highly collectible error found on some 1987 P. Jefferson nickels is the off-center strike. This error occurs when the planchet is not properly aligned during the striking process. As a result, part of the design is missing, shifted, or incomplete. Minor off-center errors might sell for $25 to $75. But more dramatic examples where 20 to 50% of the design is off-center and the date remains visible can sell for $300 to $1,500 or more. Uncirculated off-center strikes with strong eye appeal often command premium prices at auction. Wrong planchet errors are among the rarest and most valuable mistakes seen on modern nickels. These occur when a Jefferson nickel is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or metal composition. Such coins may have unusual weight, thickness, or color. Verified wrong planchet 1987 P. Jefferson nickels are extremely rare, and when authenticated, they can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. In several notable auction results, rare wrong planchet errors have reached prices well into the 5-figure range. Some of the most impressive auction results for 1987 P. Jefferson nickel error coins come from pieces that combine rarity with exceptional condition. Coins with multiple errors, such as a double die combined with a die crack or unusual strike pressure, are especially prized. In high-end auctions, rare certified examples of extreme 1987 P nickel errors have sold for prices between $66,540 and $151,890, driven by fierce bidding and the scarcity of such coins. Die cracks and die breaks are another class of errors collectors watch closely. These appear as raised lines or irregular metal blobs caused by fractures in the die. Small die cracks might add modest value, but large, dramatic die breaks that significantly alter Jefferson's portrait or Monticello on the reverse can sell for $150 to $1,200 or more. Coins with bold die breaks that don't detract from eye appeal tend to bring the strongest prices. Broad strike errors are also found among 1987 P. Jefferson nickels. These occur when the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread wider than normal. Broad-struck nickels often have distorted rims and an expanded diameter. Depending on condition and severity, these coins can sell from $75 to $600, with higher values for uncirculated examples. Comparing these error coins to normal 1987 P nickels highlights just how dramatic the value difference can be. A standard nickel is barely worth saving, while a rare error example can be worth thousands or even over $100,000. This massive gap is what fuels the excitement of coin roll hunting and checking everyday pocket change. Condition is one of the most important factors in determining value. A worn or damaged error coin will always sell for less than a sharp, uncirculated example. That's why many collectors submit valuable error nickels to professional grading services. Certification confirms authenticity, identifies the exact error, and assigns a grade, all of which significantly increase buyer confidence and auction results. Auction history clearly shows how competitive the market for modern error coins has become. As more collectors focus on Jefferson nickel errors, demand continues to grow. When a rare 1987p error nickel appears with strong eye appeal and professional certification, bidding can escalate quickly, sometimes pushing final prices into the $66,540 to $151,890 range. For anyone holding spare change or old rolls of nickels, the 1987p Jefferson nickel deserves a closer look. With careful inspection and a magnifying glass, you might spot doubling, misalignment, or other unusual features that transform a common 5-cent coin into a remarkable collectible. Most nickels will be ordinary, but the possibility that one could be a rare error worth life-changing money keeps collectors searching every day. What looks like an ordinary modern nickel may actually be a silent witness to a minting mistake, waiting to be discovered. The 1987p Jefferson nickel proves that even recent coins can hold extraordinary value when rarity and error collide.